In this room, you'll learn how to bypass the administrator rights on Linux, the sudo command. This is a security vulnerability from 2019, and it allowed anyone to become the administrator, also known as root. So let's start the machine. We click here, start the machine, and then click check. So it's going to take a moment to start the machine, and make sure to also start the attack box that allows you to connect to the machine to abuse that vulnerability. So this is the attack box. It's a Linux system. So here you can double click and it's gonna open the terminal. You'll see in this attack box by default we are ROT, or also known as the administrator on Linux. So if I say who am I, it's gonna tell root, the administrator. And on the left we see a big blob of text. Now this doesn't really matter. What we need to do is to log in to this remote computer. So we can do that with a tool called SSH. So you see this little command here. We can right click copy, and then we can paste it in. So right click paste. It's gonna ask this question and just say yes, press enter. And then we need to type the passwords, which is given to us here. So now we are in the other computer in the command line interface. You'll see this line has changed. This is our computer, the attack box. You see that matches this address here, the attack box IP 10.65.107.64. You'll see it's the same. Now every time you start the attack box, it's going to show a different number here, a different address of the computer. And then when we run this command, this SSH command, what it's going to do is remotely connect to the computer. And then we are inside the other computer using a command line interface. So if I say, who am I now? You'll see it shows we are the user TryHackMe. We are not the user root. And you'll see this line after the @ it's different. So initially we are in the attack box, and now we are in the computer sudo-privesc. So it's another computer. And with SSH you can connect to any computer in the world, as long as you know the username passwords. And then with command line you can control that computer. Now in this case we are the user TryHackMe. We are not the administrator of the computer. Typically you can run commands on Linux as administrator using the sudo command. So if I would try sudo who am I, we would need to know the password to run it as administrator, right? So we say TryHackMe, and that's the wrong password. That's not the password. Now I don't know the passwords, and also we don't need to know the password for this challenge, because we're using a security vulnerability inside the sudo command. So what we'll do is we'll say sudo -u. That's the username. So you could say which user 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what we'll do is user -1. Now, of course, there is no user -1, right? The user starts from 0, roots, 1, higher, 2, 3, 4, but there's no user -1. So what it's going to do is going to bypass the login screen. And then if we try, who am I? You see that I did something wrong. And we might try the password. And you'll see we did it wrong, so let's try it again. So you see with the default sudo command, it's just gonna show those password box. If we do sudo -l, you'll see we can run bin bash without password. So that's the first question. What command are you allowed to run as sudo? That's /bin bash. Then we try to run that, so we say sudo -u -1 /bin/bash, enter, and you'll see instantly we are root, the administrator. You say who am I? We are now administrator or root on that remote computer. Next they ask us what is the flag in that computer. So in the folder root.txt, to read any text file we can use the command cat, so cat, and then /root/root.txt. And you'll see we got the flag, right click copy, and then we can paste it in. And we then have completed this challenge, this room.